like, wow, right? Oi, 邪魔すんなボケHinataボケ Oya. My yakisoba bun is saying
Hello, gang. Hello.
Hi, welcome to episode 1 of
Ani-meito.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So in sync.
In sync.
Right? I thought it
Every
was
single
good.
time.
Welcome. Thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking about the first arc of Haikyuu and the many themes and subtexts in it.
I'm Fuzzy, and this is...
I'm Jessica. Really quickly, before we kick off into the introductory chat and the beginning of the show, I have got a very quick true or false. So, true or false, Kageyama is the youngest first year, whereas Hinata is the oldest. Is that true or false?
Personality-wise, Kageyama is definitely older.
Yes.
But I bet you Hinata is the oldest.
Wow.
But I also think Kageyama is an only child and Hinata has a little sister.
True. Well, you have to wait to the end to find out.
Yeah, Haikyuu, sell it to me, Cheska.
Oh, sell it
Tell
to
me,
you.
tell me what caught you about it. How did I sell it to you? Because I don't really remember.
So I do remember the first time we ever met and you told me about it. And you were like, oh, it's got great character development and it gives you all the feels, but it is about volleyball. Do you like volleyball? I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad on volleyball. I like sports, but, if I care enough, I can get into it,
You were like, what? Volleyball?
And I was just like, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Uh-huh.
But then 2 years later, it's literally changed my life. It's great.
It has. Friendships have been formed on this.
Right?
And if someone was to say, ew, I kind of hate volleyball though, it's like super boring, what would you say to them?
I'd
would
be
be your-
very offended. And then I'd show them a PowerPoint presentation on why they're wrong. And then I'd do a Tanaka and be like, don't mock my team, bro. We'll have your
My dudes.
My dudes. Yeah, I mean, everyone loves a good protagonist, right? And a couple of main characters, but I think everyone surely loves those little side characters that get beefed out, get their little screen time and get their little stories. And I think that's what Haikyuu does really, really, really well. And, who can't love that? Everyone loves a good side character.
It catches you.
It does.
It like sucks you in with the side dramas, and you're like, oh, I don't care about that character. And then 4 episodes in, you're like, oh my god, he is my life. The Cinnamon Roll Club. Everyone gets booked into there.
So much cinnamon rollness to come. I think it was one of the first texts when I started watching Haikyuu, and you were like, get ready to cheer for other teams and for other people, and I was like, nah, this is my team. And then lo and behold, halfway through I was like, I love them all, I need them all.
I also had a look back through our group chat, obviously, to see what your initial reaction was from episode 1.
God, what did I say?
Oh god, it was really cute, to be fair. Okay, this was back in November, Cheska.
That was a long time. November,
I know.
Jesus.
Look how far we've come.
God.
You were like, episode 1 of Haikyuu. The ginger kid is so cute. He's so wholesome. Oh my god, I'm so invested in this kid and his rubbish little team of shorties.
What? I think it was so...
And then like 5 minutes later, I love him already. He's so damn cute. He's training now and just graduated.
I think, oh no, bless him. It's just to the like upon rewatching it, I think he's definitely a bit overzealous, but we need this enthusiasm at the start to get everyone on board about volleyball and why it's important and his story. It lights a little fire in your belly,
Yeah.
It's his spirit.
He sucks you in. And the other thing about this show is the animation style. I have no knowledge of animation styles. I'm a basic bitch if ever you've met one.
No, you're not. Shut
but
up.
the thing that sucked me in with this is that it gives me like deep Ponyo vibes. Like,
Yes! Oh my god!
I just
right?
every time I see
baby Hinata looks like Ponyo, doesn't he? I think in a very serious note though, the animation style throughout Haikyuu is like top tier, especially considering all the really realistic and quick movements that has to happen. The motion and the style is just world class. Like,
overall very good, and it's like a very dynamic anime. Like because they're playing a sport, because things are moving so fast, like you get sucked into the dynamics of it, and you actually are like cheering along at points, and you're like gasping, and you know,
Definitely.
is he gonna get the ball? Is it gonna touch the floor? Oh my god, he saved it!
Amen to that. Like, I think I'd pretty much spend every episode smiling from beginning to end, unless of course like there's major tension or a match, in which case I'm biting my nails, but I pretty much smile throughout because the characters are so lovely and the story is amazing, and it's everything for me.
Oh my god. Cheska has one of the most animated faces I know, and when she's watching something...
It's very true. I am aware. I'm aware of it now.
We met up a little while ago. She came to visit me in Edinburgh, and we've got a couple of bonus episodes from that little meetup. And we watched a new anime together. We watched Skate the Infinity and Erased. Those were the two.
I loved it.
When we were watching, Jessica's face was so hysterically funny. Whereas I was sat there yelling at the TV and just getting really irate over little things. Jessica's face was pure joy.
I get invested, okay.
So that should give you some insight into our characters. It was great.
Sorry, you asked me to sell it to you and I completely went off topic. I digress. Sell it to you. Okay, it's a very carefully written story of reaching for your dreams when the odds are against you. And regarding the characters, I mean, as the story progresses, you notice a lot more of the poetry and duality and themes with each other once you kind of know them better. So once you've invested in them, you finally get to see their development and how well written it is, and whether that's like opposites complementing one another or two seemingly different characters having the same resolve. It happens plenty outside of the two main characters as well, which is what I love so much. It's not just about Hinata and Kageyama. It's just so rewarding too to see what comes out of defeat and triumph, you know? Exactly.
And there is a lot of optimism in this show. And as someone who's like mildly cynical most points of life, it does sucker you into it though. Like, as much as I dislike Hinata, I can't help but just be like, oh, for God's sake, child, which is a phrase you'll hear from me quite a few times. Right, so should we do a quick recap of the arc?
Yeah. Do you want to have a go?
Welcome, our little protagonist.
Little show-yo.
We meet him when he is in middle school, and he starts his whole journey. The love of volleyball stems from this one time.
He sees Karasuno playing on television with his hero, the tiny giant, who is about as tall as he is, which is 5'4".
Yeah, so his love of volleyball kind of grows. He's a persistent little twerp. He's trying to get everyone in with him, but I think the hurdle that he's finding is that no one is as passionate about volleyball as he is, until he hits Karasuno High. Along the way, he's met a few characters, he's made friends, but no one has truly been his teammate. And I think the first arc is all about forming the team. It's about getting the lads together, finding our roles, our positions, gaining a bit of confidence, getting ourselves a coach.
A wicked coach as well. Bloody Coach Yukai.
Beefing up. Right. Top-notch bloke.
Top-notch bloke, right?
Right.
Opening theme.
I really like this theme. It suckered me in.
It's great, isn't it?
Again, it's full of the optimism.
It is.
It's full of the hype. What is the song?
Imagination by Spy Air.
Spy Air. Sing it to me.
Who also sing the third one. Oh, it's like Itsu tate tare tate soko ni chakito kite. It's such a banger. It's such a good song.
Right, and then we meet episode 1.
Little show-yo.
Yeah, little Hinata.
He's so earnest.
He is very earnest. He's very wholesome. He's very earnest. He's positivity and stupidity wrapped into one giant parcel, coloured ginger. Really, he's our starting point. We get his backstory very quickly. We go into his, like, oh my god, his trauma is that he likes volleyball, but no one else wants to play with him. But I do want to point out that there is a women's volleyball team, and he refuses to join them. Just makes me mad.
Yeah, I know. Why can't he just go play with the ladies? He could have just joined them. What was the problem with that? I mean, he does...
Exactly.
He does eventually go practice.
And we could have avoided the whole run-in with Kageyama and his whole, like, what have you been doing for 3 years? He does go and join the girls afterwards, like, fair on him. But...
Yeah, he does. I mean, no teenage boy really wants to play in a team of women, but this drive to have his own volleyball team and to be the best, it gets us on board as to why volleyball is so important and why we need to get on board with him.
And also, I think episode 1 sets up our boys. And the other thing I want to point out is that Hinata is a bit of a shit captain.
Yes, he's awful.
Yeah, he's
I
really
didn't realise
shit
that.
because
Good point.
They walk in and the boys on his team are like, you haven't even explained half of the positions or rules to us yet. Like, what are you playing at?
He couldn't even take 5 minutes to tell them what positions they'd be in.
He's not. He's just like, I'm going to jump after the ball. I love it. They're like, we don't even know what we're doing. Where am I meant to stand? What's the ball? What's the goal of this game?
What are the rules? And they're about to play Kitagawa First, who are considered like the best in the league.
Like top of the
Right.
league. Yeah, top of the league.
And
yeah.
also the team of our main character's adversary, and who just happens to be a super genius, or like...
Oh,
you know.
Kags.
Oh, Kags.
Yes.
Little Kags. And then we see this rivalry during the match, and we see how these two characters just kind of couldn't be more different.
But they're actually exactly the same, aren't they? Because they both just love volleyball.
They both just
yes.
share that last crackhead brain cell over their love for volleyball, and it's like the main thing that they bond over.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
It is quite funny. Like Hinata's this like optimistic bundle of energy, joy, so obsessed, and Kageyama is the exact opposite in that he's a bit of a bossy pants robot stuck in the Matrix,
so true.
but also obsessed with volleyball as well. Like
Exactly.
they're opposites but the same.
And this, ladies and gents, is our first duality. Like, these two seemingly different characters have the same resolve, and it's like, this is what you see in the first episode. They play, Hinata loses to Kageyama, but the nice twist, they're on the same team. It's a really great twist. I really enjoyed it.
You get that first taste of comedy that this show brings you, and it's just such a like poignant moment of, and then it just devolves into comedy from there on. Like,
especially the moment I really laughed out loud for the first time, which is when Kags turns to him and then he gets hit by the ball that he just went to serve, and he's just like, ow.
yeah. Best moment. And in episode 1 we really, the metaphor about the wall, that's
God,
where
the
it
wall.
starts.
It's this metaphor is used
The
over and
goddamn
over
wall
again.
that everyone's obsessed with.
It makes me think of Reiner. I'm so sick and tired of all these walls.
So it's the wall of blockers, and you know, Hinata's issue is that he's too short. Yeah, we're basic here. He's too short to be able to see over the wall. And how will he ever see over the wall?
How will he?
huh? And the other thing I wanted to say about episode 1 was something I didn't notice until like a couple of rewatches, is that the Karasuno team, so Daichi, Suga and Tanaka, they're there quietly observing that match with Kitagawa.
They are, and we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And you're watching this for the first time, and you just, it went totally over my head.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see their faces either, but we now know the voices upon the rewatch, and now we know the voices. We're like, okay, we're watching.
Right, and they do allude to it later on that they did see them together, but it doesn't really, like, there's so much happening in those episodes that you don't really care. You're just like, oh, right.
Oh God, like, I think especially for the first season for me, when I was first watching it, there was so many names and things I had to learn about volleyball. I missed a lot of like the subtext that we're now going to be talking about, and the poetry and the subtleties in the writing that are really smartly done and are actually really nice. But yeah, now on the rewatch, I'm like, God, this is a masterpiece. Like, this is so well written.
But the smart thing that they do during the first story arc is, and I think they do it in every arc, is that they use a character as a plot device. So in this arc, it's Takeda, and he's the plot device to explain volleyball to us, because he's like, I don't know anything about volleyball. I'm just a measly teacher who talks a lot.
So true. But yeah, no, you make a good point, actually, because then we have Yachi in the next one. Yachi is in the next arc, we have Yachi as a plot device. Really quickly, before we move on to the next segment, I just want to do my first fun fact of the day. So, do you notice, and it happens in anime a lot of the time, but when someone's talking about someone, it shows them sneezing?
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do love that though. And I love that about this anime because they do it all the time and they flash over to the person that they're talking about and they're like sneezing and they're like, what's happening to me?
Exactly. Or they're like, oh my god, you're getting a cold, or they get the shivers or something. Well, it's something from the Book of Songs, which was a poem book from ancient China in about 1000 BC. And it says, when a sneeze without an obvious cause happens, it was generally perceived as a sign that someone was talking about the sneezer at that very moment. It can be used kind of comically, and I think that's probably why it's still depicted in present day manga and anime. It's very, very interesting, isn't it?
I do recognize that as a thing. I'm sure someone said it to me that like when you've sneezed multiple times it's in succession, someone has at one point been like, oh, someone's talking about you, and I've been like, great, cool story. My nose has fallen off my face, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I really want to quickly point out before the next segment is I love how, despite the fact they're now teammates, there's a lot of aversion there. They still compete with one another. This starts with the sprinting to the gym. Kageyama sees Hinata run past him, and he's just like, what a moron. And then something just overcomes the boy, and he's just compelled to race him. Like, he just races into the gym.
What I really believe is that, okay, so I know that a lot of people ship Hinata and Kageyama. They're like off in the sun, merry. But the thing I want to say is that I think the thing about them that really gets me is that this is quite a feminine energy friendship, if that makes sense.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, totally.
And I think that's why I get sucked into the show quite a lot because, you know, we never really, in male friendships on TV shows and things, we don't really go as deep as we go with these two. And even the way that they're drawn and animated, there's just moments like when they go to meet Asahi and he's big, he's this looming presence, and Hinata gets scared and he hides behind Kageyama, and Kageyama kind of steps forward to protect him.
True.
Like, already their bond is so strong. You know, Kageyama spends so much of this arc trying to convince Hinata that he has value, that his position is of value, and he builds him up so hardcore. That just gives me female friendship vibes every single time. Like,
mate, absolutely. So I've written basically the same thing, but for Nishi and Asahi, so great minds. But but I'll get onto them specifically when we discuss them in a few minutes. But yeah, right, like in most kind of mainstream on-screen male friendships, we don't see as much softness as we see with these two and some of the other pairs in Haikyuu. It's definitely needed for a few reasons. The first being that Haikyuu's female character representation is pretty lackluster, like, let's be real. And second is that it promotes boys to just not be afraid to have feminine energy with one another, you know, being nurturing and caring and kind and considerate. And like, whilst I'm not against shipping, like, whatsoever, this is the reason why I don't necessarily ship many of the duos. I think when we take these male characters with the feminine friendship vibes and then we ship them, it's like, oh, well, they're in love, so that's why they're like that. Whereas I like this idea that boys should be able to have that feminine energy without it being romantic. Like, let's promote boys being really good friends and being so nice to each other. And I feel like it's seen in other characters too, but way more obviously, like Sugawara being a prime example. And by the way, I love a yaoi ship as much as anyone does. On the note of Kageyama and Hinata's relationship, I've got today's hot take for you.
Oh, okay, go on, I'm ready.
Cool. And it's from someone called Suburban Weasel on Discord, and they say, Kageyama's "what have you been doing the last 3 years" is not meant as an insult. He very obviously sees something in Hinata's abilities, and he's just upset that he sees wasted potential. It's not an insult whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's the hot.
I agree. But the thing with Kageyama is he does not know how to express himself outside the Matrix.
No, this is true. This is very true.
His robotic little brain doesn't know how to put words together.
Exactly.
And it just comes out as insults, you know?
Well, exactly. I mean, the reason why I chose this as a hot take was because I remember when I first watched it, and I thought he was a dick.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why is he being so aggressive? There was absolutely no need for that.
Fuck you, pal. Yeah.
Exactly. And like, I think if you're a bit of a sensitive sausage, like I definitely am, if someone said that to me, I'd be upset, and I would take it, I think, the way that, well, I definitely took it that way when I first watched it. I took it as if you've just been wasting your time because you're not good. You know, you're not good at volleyball.
But he doesn't say it out loud. He says it in his robot brain.
Exactly. But after coming to understand Kageyama better as a character, I know that this was not meant to be so hurtful. It's just something I've gained from the rewatch, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's a great take. And I also think that Kageyama at points is just... He's so dumb. Just like...
It's true.
I'm going to set it to whoever I think can actually win at the game. Like, oh my god, bro.
Who else would you serve it to?
Take it down 3 notches. Like...
But yeah...
Here's a little quiz for you. Do you remember when you first watched this, who you thought Kageyama looked like? Character was
Mustang. Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist.
It was indeed. Well done.
So that's the thing. He has Mustang vibes a little. It's the hair, it's the selfish, the arrogant, the belligerent part of him, you know? I think when I was first watching Haikyuu, I didn't understand the Kageyama hype because I didn't like his attitude, but upon the rewatch, I realised he's actually just really socially inept and he's unable to express himself without sounding pugnacious. And now he's one of my favourite characters.
Yeah.
He's misunderstood, basically. So, welcome to Karasuno.
Welcome to Karasuno. So they've got a bit of a reputation. They were once phenomenal with their tiny giant. And now they are the wingless crows. The fallen crows? The wingless crows? What do they call
the clipped
themselves?
crows or the wingless crows.
Wingless,
yes, that's it.
yeah.
Who were once on top. They were once
They were
top
like
of the
top
game.
3 in the prefecture, and now they're like 8.
And then we meet the current Karasuno fam as these fresh-faced first years come along with their enthusiasm, talent, angst, and bring the hope that we need. And I love meeting the fam.
I do too. And the fam
love
being
meeting the fam.
Sugawara, Daichi, and Tanaka.
Yep.
Sugawara, clearly the mum of the group.
Clearly.
Daichi
Is the dad.
the pops.
He's the dad.
And Tanak's
Big
a little
brother.
Tanaki character.
He's the big brother.
Yeah.
You know, he's hands down one of my favourite characters, certainly for this arc.
He's my favourite
Certainly.
character in every arc. He is just top-notch comedy gold.
Isn't he? And like, I love is that everyone else is like a little bit overwhelmed by Hinata's enthusiasm for every single aspect of volleyball, except for Tanaka, who kind of like nurtures and encourages it, and he also mirrors it, which I think is great.
And I think Tanaka needs he needs Hinata, he needs Kageyama, he needs because he's missing Nishinoya at this point, so he's
True.
you know, he's missing his true fam. And the other second years, they're not important right now. We don't
we don't
care
need to
about
know
them.
them.
Don't worry about learning their names. I don't think I did for
I've got to
many
confess,
arcs.
I don't know if it's just because I'm really tired or if it's just classic Cheska, but when I watched the scene with Daichi predicting the potential between Kageyama and Hinata to Sugawara and Tanaka, I was kind of tearful. I was like, it like built it up so beautifully and the animation was so nice. Like, now I know more about the upperclassmen too. It's touching to see how hopeful they are, and
It's very inspiring.
it is, and like, you know, the shadow behind Daichi and the crows come forward. It's like a beautiful little sequence, and I feel like, you know, it's like the parents come together to discuss the children's future.
Exactly. So they have a little rough up with the VP. They get set this 3-on-3 challenge, and then Hinata goes into his counselling session with Sugawara, the first of many.
Suga, you're so sweet.
So we really, really get to know Hinata's background here, how he's never had a true spike and all he wants to do is spike the ball, and he's looking for his tribe, you know, the people who love volleyball as much as he does. And Suga, being the giant soft marshmallow that he is all like, come in, I squish you into me, my precious child.
Again though, like, feminine energy that you brought up earlier, it's an obvious example of this. He is the most outwardly feminine character in terms of how he is with other people. Like, he's caring, he's nurturing, and he's kind, you know? It's great that he can set for him.
And give him the emotional support he needs right now, because even though Kageyama's going to do it at some point, he's not yet. And also Kageyama's version of emotional support is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Also, can we note in the same scene, I love that Kageyama is just round the corner, and it's the first time we see him being a bit of a basic bitch when he presses the 2 yogurt drink buttons at the same time in the hope that he'll get 2. It's just really great. I love this.
Oh god, I didn't really appreciate Kageyama's obsession with the yogurt he drinks until much later, but mate, he's obsessed.
He is.
He's a basic boy. He's got his basic needs. He likes his yogurt drink. He needs to be fed and watered, and he needs to play volleyball. That's all there is to him. But
That's so true.
Yeah, and he finds his person. He finds Hinata, who's as equally basic as he is. Another plant, feed, water, run him around a bit, and let him play volleyball. There you go, all the things that he wants. He's found his true match.
It's so true. And as we mentioned about duality, Kageyama, we eventually learn, has had his own volleyball related trauma too. He is a setter.
Yeah, we have to get his backstory too.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a setter whose old teammates all turned their back on him due to his incessant, selfish... King. Exactly, the king. King of the court. His bossy behaviour, and now, we've just seen a keen kid who wants to set the ball for him.
You know what? When you first watched this, you text me and you were like, he's not a king, he's a dictator. Yeah.
Okay, that sums it up.
Which I think...
that sums it up. Absolutely.
Beautifully, yeah. And I think secretly, Kageyama's all like, oh, the spikers all glamorous and they get attention, but actually it's the setter if you watch it from this angle. But the thing about Kageyama that gets me is that actually he wants everyone to play to his style. He's a bit of a spotlight hog as well. He's a bit of a diva.
He's a bit tyrant-y like this still, but this is an issue for this arc and the next. If Hinata's hurdle is overcoming the fact that he's short in a game of tall people, Kageyama's hurdle is understanding his teammates and learning patience and cohesency, Yeah. He needs to learn. Everyone
must march to his tune because he has the talent. Yeah.
Exactly.
But then, him and Hinata, they find their groove, their little groovy groove.
Groovy groove. But that's it, yeah. It's a problem, and it kind of comes to a boiling point when our new characters enter Tsukishima and Tadashi. And we've had this rivalry with Kags and Hinata, but none of that matters now when we meet Salty Shima. And I have forgotten how antagonistic and smug as hell he is, especially in this first episode. It's just he's just really ramped up just for the sake of this episode.
And something I want to point out is Daichi, when they peek his eye through the door and when they're playing a match with him in his face. He gives me the vibes in Hunter x Hunter. What's Kilo's big brother?
Oh, Illumi.
He gives me Illumi vibes in those moments. Yes. His eyes just peer into my eyes.
That shit is scary.
Tell me your truth.
Oh god, so scary. It's very true. I mean, that's what makes him a good dad.
He's unnerving, yeah.
You don't want to do wrong.
He's a top-notch character. And already from the start, he's like, I am the thing that grounds the team. I might not be a spiker, I might not be flashy, but I can do a good receive. And he makes that point very firm. He's a little, yeah. He's like, you thought I'd be the weak one on the team? Think again, honey. When Kags comes
This is what we need, though.
He's like, bitch, please. Sit down.
This is just before the 3 versus 3 match. Tsukishima starts trash talking to Daichi and about Tanaka and Kageyama and Hinata, and I'm here the cheek of this boy.
Right. Wait, what's that quote? Oh my god.
Oh,
gumption.
The nerve,
the cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
Why would you do that? I was shaking my head, honestly. Why?
God damn, sir.
Sir, this is your volleyball team.
The nerve. The other thing we need to talk about is Sugawara. When he meets Kags, he realizes it's like game sees game, he can see what Kageyama is, and he's like, oh, crap bags.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
To see what Suga sees, I think you have to see it from the whole team's perspective. Karasuno's reputation right now is that they are clipped, wingless crows, and they want to make it to nationals, but Suga knows that they're not going to do that with him as the setter. They need Kageyama. It's a team sport. Suga is well aware of the differences between him and Kags, And I mean, to know where you stand in a competitive world and to accept it and then not stop trying takes a lot.
Yeah. And Suga is the ultimate coach, you know? They don't have a coach right now, but he's very good.
He is, and he isn't athletic, so he compensates with great game sense. Like, all of that extra work he puts in away from being a setter is him contributing in the only way that he feels he really can. And his whole, like, spiel is about him contributing in unconventional ways, especially since he can't contribute in the traditional setter role anymore. Now Kageyama is here.
And he's observant, and so we've had our little team, we've met the main characters, and, you know, we've unlocked this new power. Step 1, unlock level 1.
Unlocked.
And let's go put it out to test. Let's go to Aoba Johsai.
Our first match.
Seijo.
Seijo.
Wait, that's not till later, is it? Oh.
It's also like the first of Hinata's bathroom run-ins as well, which I love.
Yeah. Well, he has one at the start of the episode 1.
He just can't get a break.
Yeah,
he can't get a bathroom break in the sports facility.
He can't go pee. He just can't. So we can't be mad at our own teammates anymore. We're forming a team, so we've got to get a new enemy, huh?
I feel
you. Shift gears for a second.
Exactly, and as Tanaka says, everyone on this side of your net is your ally. And then the real rivalry begins where we meet Oikawa. And, I mean, he's not my favourite character. I mean, when I watched it for the first time, I hated him. He's just so petty. But, I mean, it's everyone's favourite trash king, you know? It's a good
trash king.
You know my thoughts on Oikawa. I mean, I changed my mind a bit more in the next arc, but he's just so petty. He's smarmy, his attitude.
He's smarmy. He's slick. He's smarmy. He's like everything we hate about men all wrapped up into one parcel.
Basically, yes. And like, I'm like Iwa-chan, where I hate pretty boys who get all the girls, and that's a massive part of Oikawa's thing. And I don't like that. That's not my thing.
And we get to see Onion Head again, the one. So we really get into
Onion Head.
We get into the like beef of Kageyama. We really get to see his despot tyrant role. We get to enter the Matrix with him. Also, there's a really funny, I love quoting Kageyama because he is so funny, but there's just a moment where he's like, this isn't working, but I'm having fun.
You know, you have a real knack for selecting excellent Kageyama quotes and it making me realize how much of a robot he is.
He's like, I'm so obsessed with winning, but I'm having fun. What is this feeling? The Matrix is unsettling around me. What shall I do? Oh dear.
I was gonna say,
but yeah, we need to go on.
Oh no, you go.
They need a bit of finessing. They're not quite there yet. The team isn't fully formed, so off they go to find their extras. We need a Nishinoya and we need an Asahi. Like we need our libero and we need our ace. We need these extra two. This is what we're lacking. So.
Right. I think these two, now upon the rewatch, might be my favourite duo ever of like the arc, the season, the whole thing.
Do you think?
Yeah, because they embody our 2 points from what we were saying about duality and feminine energy. Firstly, they have that big yin and yang vibe. Like Asahi is a big gentle giant and Nishinoya is like 5'2" delinquent with a big voice and an even bigger presence. And revisiting their feminine energy part, they definitely have this. Like Noya is always very supportive of Asahi, where whilst Daichi and Suga kind of taunt him, their relationship is written really different from Noya and Asahi's other friendships. Like, if Tanaka's and Nishi's friendship is about banter and fun, Asahi and Noya's is about mutual support. Like, there's a lot of love and kindness there, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, did you notice the whole, like, mop sitch? Like, I did not notice that last time, and now I'm like, this mop is symbolic of their relationship, especially because we see Nishi holding it when they tease us with his
I
little
did
silhouette.
notice the mop.
And Suga is so cute. He's like, no, it can be fixed. I was like, oh my god, stop, cinnamon roll.
I know.
Stop it.
I'm also like, put the mop in the bin, people. Someone will get a splinter. Tadashi is right. Just throw it away. You've got another mop. What are you playing at?
Oh Oh my god, that's great. Really, really quickly, I've got my second of today's fun facts.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite fitting because we're talking about Nishinoya and Asahi.
Uh-huh.
Azumane, which is Asahi's first name, means East Peak.
Yeah.
Nishinoya means West Valley, right?
Yeah.
So there's kind of like two little opposites there. You got East Peak, West Valley, you know. Asahi means sunrise or dawn. And Yu, which is Nishinoya's first name, means dusk. So they've, from the start, they're already yin and yang. I just love it.
Uh-huh.
I love these little Easter eggs that Furudate Sensei puts in for us. I live for it.
Also, I didn't really recognize how much of a reputation Nishinoya had. So he's like, Kageyama's like, oh, I went to
Kitagawa first.
Kitagawa first. And actually, when he meets Nishinoya, Nishinoya says what middle school he was at as well, and he's like, oh my god, that's a really good school. So Nishinoya comes with his own reputation as well. He's actually quite a big deal. He's a big name, but the reason he chooses Karasuno as his high school, it just cracks me up. He's just like, sorry, what kind of question is that? Obviously for the girls, for the uniform, and I love a black military jacket. Like,
he loves a black military jacket. I mean, I love that he's so considerate of the uniform style. I think it tells us a lot about his character.
You can tell he's that kind of person because he must dye his hair.
Oh, he dyes his
hair. And it must
hair.
take a lot of gel and styling to get it that high up. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I get the vibe that he's into his looks. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never
understand.
given it that much thought, but now we're talking about it. It's his clear insecurities regarding his height. You know, he bleaches his hair, he gels it up. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
that will make up for the fact that he's actually 5'2". Anyway, really quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Before I delve into the Asahi Nishinoya feminine energy friendship thing, I've got 6 questions for you. Not timed though, just quick questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Hit me.
Okay, question 1. What was Nishinoya's reasons for joining Karasuno?
Obviously, the girls' uniform and the boys' uniform. He likes a military jacket, lads. Okay?
He loves a military
He's
jacket.
got style. Not grey, not any other colour. It has to be black.
Excellent. Perfect answer. Question 2. Kageyama's reason for joining is what?
Well, he didn't get in anywhere else. But he says that he thought he heard rumours that the old coach Yukai was coming back.
Yeah, this is true. Question 3. What does Tanaka often get compared to because of his shaved head?
He's a thug, lads. He's a thug. He's a street kid. He'll come for you. He'll mug you.
Excellent. Would have also accepted juvenile delinquent. Okay, cool. Question number 4.
Ah, yes, that too.
Yeah. Question number 4. What event persuades Yukai Jr. to get on board for Karasuno?
He learns about the Nekama match that's coming, and he finds out that the coach of Nekama is the old setter from when he was a lad, and he's like, ooh, the rivalry fires are stoked. I'm in now.
Perfect answer. Okay. Question 5. Can you tell me one of the nicknames that Hinata gives himself in his head when he's talking to Kageyama about being king of the court? He's trying to think of some names. Can you remember anything? It's quite a hard one. He's like at the tree, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like
It's a hard one.
He's just like
It's a hard
halfway up
question.
the tree, and he's like thinking about things.
Yeah, he's like the shadowy. Wait, should I just tell you? Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on.
It's the wind of the whirlwinds. Right?
Also, that sounds too much like farts, pal. Like, come on.
Last question. How tall is Suki at this point? So Tadashi is like, Suki is 6'2". He's almost 6'3".
Right. It's like, shut up,
was like, oh my God,
Tadashi. Yeah,
Tadashi.
like, what are you doing? Shh.
Why are you bragging for me? It's like, he's so touchy at this
Well,
point.
he's just a side character right now. He's
He's
nothing.
not quite part of the Cinnamon Roll Club yet. So, back to Asahi. He is a character which really resonates with me. I think, because we've all been there as a teenager. You had a failure to face, and maybe we've considered running away.
Some guilt.
Exactly. Because it's, it's an easy thing to do is to run away. I mean, I definitely did that when I was a kid once.
But we're adults now, and we talk about our problems. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true. Very true. I mean...
You know, if they'd have just had a nice cup of tea, had a little meet up, and just been like, lads, this is how I feel. And then Suga could have been like, I'm so sorry I put so much pressure on you. And Asahi could have been like, I'm so sorry I let you down. And Nishinoya could have been like, I'm so sorry I didn't have your back. And then we could have moved on.
But Fuzzy, that wouldn't have happened.
Moved on.
Because it's
But,
anime.
you know.
It doesn't happen like that in anime.
Sorry. And they don't really understand from talking. They understand in action.
Exactly. No one expresses their emotions. But what I wanted to say about Asahi was Asahi and Nishinoya's fight is so incredibly personal.
Yeah.
Like, they really care for each other very intensely. Noya has got mad at Asahi for not calling enough sets and quitting, which all ties into the fact that Asahi has like low self-esteem, blah blah blah, and that he wasn't working within the team, and specifically kind of ignoring Noya's role as the libero. They both quit volleyball after that fight. Like that, and their care for each other, like I was saying before about how Noya always built him up and like protect him. If that's not screaming feminine energy, I don't know what is. And like,
Exactly.
don't get me wrong, okay? Hear me out. I love Noya. Okay, he's one of my favorite characters, but volleyball is basically the only thing that he's got going for him. He's not book smart. He's 5'2", but that guy got an award. He got a freaking award for volleyball in school.
Yeah.
And he's well known for it, as you just said. And he's infamously like some mad libero badass. Yet he quit because of Asahi.
I know.
And only comes back when Asahi does. It's almost like Asahi not realizing his worth and his potential hurt Nishi personally. It hurt him personally. He took that to heart. That dude values Asahi's role in the team over any personal benefits. That boy was going to stop like his first the thing that he cares about most in life over his friend's pride, you know? It's all because of the bloody wall. That bloody wall.
And again, that bloody wall metaphor is back. Ugh. But one of my favourite quotes of this whole arc is when Asahi is late for the training and Coach Yukai's like, chop chop man bun. I just love it. It's my favourite thing.
Oh, you love that quote.
It's like he doesn't even know this bloke. He doesn't even like, he's just like, come on, chop
Mate,
chop.
This is what I love about Yukai though. He just swans in and just acts like he's already owning the place. He only wants to give like so little effort. And then he's not going to learn anyone's names. You're Carrot Top. You're Man Bun. And then he eventually realizes how great they all are. And then he's saying up for world domination. He's like, okay, these guys are great. Welcome, sir. You're welcome to Karasuno.
Yeah. And he's the last cog in the machine, isn't he?
Is, as Take likes to say.
He comes in to our ragtag crew and he's like, right, okay. Let's crack this together, lads.
Hello, welcome, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Also, can I just say, as the last part of Asahi, I will stop talking about Asahi and Nishinoya. It's really nice that the thing that gets Asahi back into the game is being able to push through the block. He spikes through it, and that's great writing, you know. Or maybe it's just really basic and I'm just very impressed by it, but you know, it's beautiful. It's like, this is what has stopped him the whole time. And now he's willing to step up because he's finally realised his potential.
Yay, honey! Also, I just love that there's so much time while the ball is moving around for Suga to like have a slight crisis, and for Kageyama of all characters to be like, pass it back to your ace. He needs you. And I actually really appreciate, considering Kageyama's come from this past where he's like a desperate tyrant, he's a dictator, he's this king of the court, and he's come in and he's trying to like break through this reputation that he has. He comes in quite humble, you know. He's like, Suga, I don't want to have your position. I might have talent, but that doesn't make up for experience and having the trust of your teammates. He's really like broken from that one moment in his past. And I love Suga's like respect and his courage to kind of support this little shitty kid who's just like bundled in.
He is, and Suga is an excellent senpai. I'd like to think that all this is because Kageyama just like downright respects him and doesn't want to step on his toes, and he kind of knows his place a little bit, because whilst he seems arrogant, he does attempt to be more cooperative and work in a team. He for the first time says we will win, not I'm gonna win. So we're already seeing a bit of changes, and it's great for Suga. You feel really good for him because it's such a rewarding moment that he gets the set for Asahi once more, and it's a nice little reminder that Suga's skills are still valued on the court as much as they are off the court.
Oh, Suga is like the glue. He holds everyone together. He might not play most of the time. You know, he's been undermined by this new character, but he has so much value that he's just it's not going to be Karasuno without him.
No, so
basically.
True. Also, really quickly before we finish, I've got a little round of Who Said It for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go on then.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm going to try and make them fairly easy because I feel like I'm always making them really difficult, but I feel like
we can do it. Okay, good.
Okay, I feel like you'll get most of these because we've mentioned them already. I'll set to whoever I have to win.
It is our robot king, Kageyama.
Affirmative. Ask me for a toss just one more time, Ace.
Suga, our little Suga.
It's not actually, but...
Ask me for a toss one more time, Ace.
Yeah, I've just realised that's right. So you're right, but I was actually Nishinoya because he says it as well, but they both say it. But so I'll give you that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Don't underestimate us too much. We'll eat you alive. / in the dub. Don't mock my team, bro. We'll have your heads.
Is that Tanaka?
Yes, correct.
Of course it's Tanaka.
Hey, you don't receive with your face. Or in the dub, you have got to learn to stop receiving with your face.
It is said to Hinata. And it sounds like one of the parents. Like Daichi, maybe?
It's Kageyama.
But I was going to say, I think it's Kageyama.
Oh, sorry, I should have let you say it. The last one is one of my favourite quotes. A sweet, sweet chance ball / oh my, look at that delicious chance ball. Don't mind if we do, thank you.
Chance ball. Hi, Oikawa.
Well done. Anyway, back to the art. Well, actually, we're going to wrap up now, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is where we're at. I hope that has pulled you in. You've sunk your teeth into this show a little bit because we've just formed a team and we have so much to go. We've got the lads are already talking about the inter-high prelims as well, and then we've got high peak competition to come, but we also need to do a bit of training with our new team. We need to build them up a little bit. So obviously it's a bit predictable about where this is going. But, come along for the ride.
Come along for the ride. It's a really fun ride.
Yeah.
I guarantee you'll love it. And if you're not in it by the first season 2 will grab you.
Exactly. Favourite episode, favourite quote, favourite character? What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? So, favourite quote has got to be Kageyama. It's impossible to win on your own. You always need the help of your teammates. Which is so true.
So wholesome.
It's so nice.
So wholesome.
But my favourite scene is... Don't mock my team, bro. With the crows and that. I just love when we see the crows in these moments of like intimidation. And I really love it when they use their little mascot animals visually. And it's just straight up a badass moment. Like Tanaka pulling his like, you want to go, bro face? And then Suki and Kageyama looking terrifying. And Tadashi just trying his best, So what's your favourite scene and favourite quote? Go.
My favourite quote is, we've already had chop chop man bun. Chop chop man bun. My favourite scene. I do quite like it when Hinata is up in that tree because I just think they're so jokes. But I think my favourite scene of this arc is when they're playing the 3-on-3. I just love Daichi's like steadfastness. I love the Suki trying to bring everyone down but also getting his ass whooped. And I just love the spirit of Tanaka in that, and we discover our new secret weapon in that moment.
Very true.
It's the start of something big to come.
So who's your favourite character, by the way? Because if it's the same as mine, we can crown them the MVP of the arc.
My fave character this arc is Tanaka, hands down.
Yay! Completely
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Oh my god, he's such a babe. He's such
Like,
a
I
babe.
love me a Daichi and I love me a Sugawara, but Tanaka, you shine. You shine, Tanax. You are welcome. Welcome to the favourite character role for you. Employee of the month, right here.
It's so many little moments, really. Like, Hinata throws up on his pants, and while he freaks out a little bit, his primary concern is not the pants, not the vomit. If Hinata's alright, his little kuhai.
He wakes up at bloody 5 a.m. He must be like 4:30 to come play with these two Egypts who've just joined the team. You know, he's so self-sacrificing for the greater good. We love you, Tanaka.
We love you.
Anyway, so hi, bye.
Bye.
That's us.
That is us. Thank you if you got this far. We hope that you enjoyed the first episode, and next time we have got a shitload of fun and games in store for you for the second arc when we meet Nekoma.
We do indeed. So that should take you from episode 11 through to the end of season 1, which is, I can't remember what episode that is.
Yeah, that's correct. 11 to 25, but basically to the end of the arc. Ooh, almost forgot. The answer for the true or false is true. Kageyama is the youngest first year, whereas Hinata is the oldest. So you were right, Fuzzy.
Woo!
Well done.
Excellent.
But yeah, next time we have a bunch of new characters to meet. If you haven't watched Haikyuu yet, you're going to love them. If you have seen it all before, come back to episode 2 and give us your hot takes. And if you want to pose any questions, or maybe put your knowledge to the test in one of our quizzes, drop us a line at animeito.podcast@gmail.com or go to our website, animeitopodcast.com. That's a wrap for today. Thank you for listening and tune in next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
おい邪魔すんなボケひなたボケ
おやおや
My yakisoba bun is saying